After a balancing event that set the tone for the qualifiers, some teams are hoping to build off that good momentum from the previous event, while others are hoping to bounce back. In the second event of 4 in the Team Quadrilla Marble League Season 4 qualifiers, it's the distance drag. We saw this not too long ago in the individual Quadrilla Marble League, but that's the only time this event has been held, which means that most of these marbles will not have experience in this event. The question is, will teams make the right choice for the individual marble to put in that can do the best for their team? 4 marbles in each heat will descend down a ramp, not necessarily at the same time, and the marble that gets the furthest will get the win. We're going to accumulate a lot of distance here, over 1 meter, over 1.5 meters, as we've seen in the past. Looking at the standings in Group A after Event 1, it's the Deep Divers, the Season 1 champions on top, ahead of the Olive Orbs and the Slime Balls, our Season 2 champions in 3rd place. Celestials rounding out the teams in the qualification zone. So Deep Divers, Celestials, Team Atlantic, and the Heliospheres in the first heat, showing how it's done in the distance drag. Who's going to drop down first is the Heliospheres. In front of the Celestials, Deep Divers close behind. Look at how far Deep Divers went. Other three very close as Team Atlantic takes their time but can't get past that 3 marble pack. And behind the Deep Divers, Celestials, Heliospheres, Team Atlantic, all of those three separated by less than a marble's length, but it's all Deep Divers out in front. Huge distance ahead of the other three. The Deep Divers trying to ensure that they will qualify with flying colors. 167.1 is not quite a record, but still the other three all in the 150 range. The Celestials gets the win among those three, ahead of Team Atlantic just a millimeter ahead of the Heliosphere. So now in the second heat, Olive Orbs, Slime Balls, Amber Animals, and Bacon Brawlers. Amber Animals with Parrot, the only captain in this heat. And there's no advancement, so these distances are going to be directly compared with the previous heats. The Bacon Brawlers out in front, they're going to get passed by the Amber Animals. The captain, Parrot, gets all the way the furthest, and Amber Animals will get the win here, but does it compare to the Deep Divers? It's between them and the Deep Divers for the win in Group A. Bacon Brawlers will get second place. That's a nice bounce back after their last event. Olive Orbs at the anchor, they get ahead of the Slime Balls. Amber Animals cannot get there at second place for them, but all of these marbles were between that gap from the Deep Divers and the Celestials, Team Atlantic at Heliosphere. So Amber Animals to Slime Balls get second to fifth. Deep Divers will get the win. That's their second win in 2 events in the qualifiers. Amber Animals will jump up the standings up to third place. Olive Orbs very consistent in second. Slime Balls also holding on in the qualification zone. Bacon Brawlers making moves, and Heliosphere's 2 last places in a row. Now we're going to move on to Group B. Yellow Lotus started off very well at the top. Golden Cheese is also trying to get back in the Team Quadrilla Marble League. They're in second place. Yellow Lotus, Floundering Fish, Efficient Eggs, and the Rock Pools in the first heat. Yellow Lotus with their captain, Rock Pools also with their captain. The other two with Hardboil and Angelfish, who will come down first as the Floundering Fish. Then it's the Yellow Lotus, who will bump there between the Efficient Eggs and the Yellow Lotus. And somehow Efficient Eggs, despite bumping the Yellow Lotus from behind, the Efficient Eggs will jump up ahead of them and into second place. Rockpool also a nudge there, very close to the Yellow Lotus. In fact, all 4 of these marbles are pretty close as a whole. Floundering Fish will get the win ahead of the Efficient Eggs, but none of them crack 160. It's going to be interesting to see what the other marbles can do. Rockpool's in last here, but they're only about 2 centimeters behind the Floundering Fish in first. So now, Golden Cheeses, Sinister Sprinters, Hazelnuts, and the Bauble Squad. Bauble Squad, the only captain here with Jewel. Cheddar, former captain of the Golden Cheeses. So a reserve with the Sinister Sprinters, Banshee. And this Bauble Squad coming out front, then it's Golden Cheeses and Hazelnuts. Sinister Sprinters as the anchor goes through everyone else with Banshee, the reserve. And the Sinister Sprinters will get the win in this heat. How does it compare to the Floundering Fish from the previous heat? Golden Cheese is also very close with them, so the Sinister Sprinters do eclipse the Floundering Fish. I think the Golden Cheeses will also, and look, I think these distances are marginally better than what we saw in the first heat. And they are! Sinister Sprinters will get the win, Golden Cheeses in second, and actually Bauble Squad do good enough to get third. Hazelnuts, it's a big drop off all the way to last for them with just 155, but the Sinister Sprinters with their reserve will get the win in the Distance Dragon Group B. Golden Cheeses, that's another second place. They're holding on strong. Sinister Sprinters, the Golden Cheeses at the top of the standings. And then it's Yellow Lotus and the Floundering Fish rounding out the qualification zone. And now for the final group. This is a fast-paced event in the distance drag. Team Nectar shocked the world in the previous event, but can they continue that fine form here? Shadow Riders also in second place. So Team Nectar, Deserters, Icicles, and the Majestic Melons. Icicles and Team Nectar were their captains. Deserters, Tanami, their new marble, participating in their first ever individual event. We'll see how they do. Who's going to come down first? It is Tanami, the new marble, and I don't think they're going to get the win. Icicles and Majestic Melons will both pass them. They show that they had more speed and continued going past the Deserters. Team Nectar absolutely nowhere. What happened to them? Honey, the captain, maybe put too much effort in the first event. They're in dead last by a good margin. Majestic Melons will get the win here. 163.1. That's a pretty good distance. Icicles also, with their captain, doing pretty well. Deserters is not the ideal start, but could have been worse for them. Now, in the final heat of the day, Shadow Riders, Aquamarines, Venomous Vipers, and the Pumpkin Patch. Let's see how these teams can do. Shadow Riders putting in their reserve. The other marbles are not captains or reserves. It's Venomous Vipers out in front, then it's Shadow Riders coming behind them. Oh, collision there between the Aquamarines and the Pumpkin Patch. Aquamarines just hold left enough, and they push them, swipe them to the side, almost collide with the Venomous Vipers, but regardless, they get past them and go into the lead. And that looks like a very good distance too. 170.3. That's the best distance we've seen in Group C, the best distance we've seen of the day. And the Aquamarines will get the win in the distance drag. Venomous Vipers just behind them in second place. Shadow Riders also, the top 3 in that heat, is the top 3 in Group C. Saving the best for last once again, as the Aquamarines will take the lead in the group ahead of the Shadow Riders. Venomous Vipers jump up 3 spots into third. Team Nectar fall 3 spots down to fourth. But now, congratulations to Marine, Banshee, and Sapphire of the Deep Divers, Sinister Sprinters, and the Aquamarines. These 3 marbles getting the wins in this event, putting their teams at the top of the standings for each of their groups. The next event will be the Sprint, and then after that, the final event of the Qualifiers, the Quadrilla Pursuit.